very good morning to everyone. Today we are going to discuss 10 important concepts regarding the introduction to marketing management. So, to understand marketing management, we will have to understand that the term has come from the word market. Now, how do we understand or what is the meaning of a market? So, market is a place, okay, where business takes place, and generally there are two parties to it. So, the overall mechanism which revolves within a market is part of the marketing. Now, to understand the concept of marketing, we will have to also understand the concept of management because marketing is an integral part of management, but it has got its own dimension and its operations. First of all, we need to understand that marketing is a societal process. That means it exists actually for the society. Generally, the view is that marketing is a function which is performed to earn profit. But along with that, we also need to understand that it is something which is actually helping people improve their lifestyle. Okay, so we what is the objective of marketing? Marketing is done so that we can add some value to the lifestyle of the people. Okay, and the solutions which are brought about by the marketer are actually part of marketing. To put it concisely, we can say that whatever we do before sales takes place and whatever we do after sales takes place is actually part of our marketing endeavors. So ultimately what we can say that marketing is not, even though the term marketing has evolved from the word market, marketing is actually in reality much more than selling, and selling is just one of the part of marketing, and marketing has its you can say its essence is also there in from the point perspective of the society. That means anything which is adding value to the lifestyle of the consumers or the customers by the initiatives taken by an organization or a company is actually the operational definition of marketing. So for marketing, it may involve individuals in the sense that if you are a single buyer in a market, a single seller in a market, okay, and you are promoting your products, that you are an individual seller, or it can be a group initiative where you are taking different efforts to win the customers and make them loyal to your organizations. So, what we can say that the first important thing in understanding marketing is that it is a societal process. That means we exist for the concept of marketing is directly related to its existence in the society, where we try to come up with solutions which are going to add value to the living standards of the customers as well as give them a solution to the different problems that they face. Now, what we can say is like to understand the concept is marketing leads to creation, offering, and exchange of products and services. That means to begin with the process of marketing, the central idea is an exchange. Exchange is what? Exchange is directly related to the concept of market. Generally, when we think of the term market, it comes to our mind that there will be a buyer and a seller. But along with that, to constitute it to be a market, there needs to be a transaction done between the buyer and the seller, and that takes place because of the exchange of products and services between them. So we can ultimately say that marketing leads to creation, offering, and exchange of products and services. Now, as we are saying that marketing is directly related to offering solution to the problems of the society as well as it leads to creation and exchange of products and services. Here two important concepts we can find out. These are the needs and wants. Needs and want have a very important aspect for understanding the concept of marketing because it is from the needs only that we start the process of marketing. Needs in the sense that needs of the customer. We need to understand the needs of the customer, and Based on that, the entire efforts of the marketer are carried on. So, coming to the formal definition of marketing, the American Association of Marketing defines marketing management as the process of planning and executing the conception, pricing, promotion, and distribution of ideas, goods, and service in order to create, exchange, and satisfy individual and organizational objectives. That means ultimately, like management, marketing management is also done in a planned manner. That means what? You need to first chalk out a plan of what you are going to do to satisfy the customer. Okay, and that is this planning is an execution of the conception. Pricing conception is related to the solution that you are going to offer to the customers. Then the pricing, that is at what price you are going to sold your products in the market. Promotion is how you are going to communicate your product to the customers. And finally, distribution, that means reaching out to the customers, that is making your goods available conveniently to your customers. Us, and this is the entire process. Marketing management is regarded as a process. That means it is done in a sequential manner or in a step by step manner. Okay, so we will have to work ultimately when we chalk out a plan which will lead to exchange and satisfaction of individual and organizational objectives is actually marketing as per the definition provided by American Association of Marketing. So what we can say that marketing management takes place when at least one party to a potential exchange thinks about the means of achieving desired responses from other parties. Marketing management is an art and science of choosing target markets and getting, keeping, and growing customers through creating, delivering, and communicating superior customer value. That means the process is like we will have to add some value. So you see, if we take a small example, like selling directly eggs is a different thing, and selling boiled eggs is altogether a different initiative. This means what? Here we have added value to the customers. The customers are like people generally want what? When you are in a market and if you are hungry, you want to the raw egg is not going to satisfy your hunger. What you need at the point of time is a cooked egg. That means it can be in a boiled version or any other version. So when you are providing a boiled egg to a person who is hungry, you are satisfying his need at that point of time. And this is called creating value for your customers. And this is the central idea behind the concept of our marketing management. So what we can summarize is like marketing refers to the activities of a business related to buying and selling a product or a service. It also involves what a customer wants and determine whether it is possible to produce it at the right price and sell it. That means ultimately what we can say that whatever we do to induce them, that is anything we do, the activities more so, we do before the sales takes place and after the sales takes place is a part of our marketing initiative. So that is the core idea behind the concept of marketing. Now, after we have discussed briefly about the central idea of marketing management and how actually it has, take its current form, that is how it has evolved from just mere exchange to understanding the requirements of a customer, it has made it more necessary for us to understand clearly certain basic concepts. So, the basic concept first is understanding need. Now, what is a need? Generally, need is identified as a desire of the customer. Okay? So, a need is a customer's or consumer's desire for a product or service with a specific benefit. That means the need is like an urge. Okay? An urge to get something is regarded as a need. Now, need can be a basic physical need or it can also be a social and emotional need. So there will be different types of needs which we need to understand as a marketer, okay? and then proceed with your initiatives, mostly related to marketing. Now, what are needs? Needs are what motivates the behavior of people to make a decision to find a solution. That this means what? That generally, whenever a need is what? Need is ultimately a desire. That means it is a gap between what you have and what you want. Okay? And when it is identified, that means this is a identification of a problem. Okay? And this problem actually motivates a person to go for a sales. All right, so you will have to acknowledge the fact that the existence of a need is very important for sales to take place or to have some action performed or a response from the consumers is only possible when there is an actual need, okay, for a particular solution. So needs are something into which the marketer should prop further so that he can come closer to the customer. So when we are discussing about needs, it is very important to understand the 5 levels of needs. The 5 levels of needs are stated needs, real needs, unstated needs, delight needs, and secret needs. So, what are these 5 stages? These are all the different phases through which a particular needs goes through as a consumer. That means when we are in a position of a buyer, we will have certain needs. Okay, we will go to a shop whenever we will have a need to be fulfilled, and when we are going for the gratification of such type of needs, we will encounter 5 stages. And as a marketer or as a salesperson, it is important that we have certain knowledge of what type of need we are actually looking into. So we will now try to understand actually with an example how these 5 stages of need can be explained. We will start with first the stated need. Now, what is the stated need? Stated need is nothing but the need which we are communicating. That means the need which we are, telling or talking about with the salesperson or with the shopkeeper is our stated needs. The stated need, as per this example, is like I want a car. That means you have felt the necessity to purchase a car for your commuting purpose. Maybe you want to go to your college, maybe you want to go to your office, and you have realized that it is a time that you need to buy a car. This is the problem recognition or need recognition stage and is regarded as your stated need. Now, moving ahead from the stated need, we will now try to understand what is real need. Real need is like when you are going to buy a car, you will have certain, specifications regarding what type of car you want to buy, okay, or what you want out of your car. That means the benefits which you are looking for. So, as per this example, the real need of yours is I want a car for going to work with low operating cost. That means your consideration here is low operating cost. So, when you are visiting the shopkeeper, you will, along with your stated need, you will next come to the level of communicating the real need, which is a car with low operating cost. Now, as per your demand or as per your choices, you will be shown different types of models or different types of products. But as a good salesperson, you will have to move ahead from understanding only the stated and real needs. That means now it is time for the marketer to understand the unstated needs of the consumer. The unstated needs are sometimes regarded as omnipresent needs. That means what? Their existence is already very confidently acknowledged by the buyer. That means you have already understood it or you have already believed that my unstated needs will also be fulfilled by the seller. So, in our example, the unstated need is I want good after sales service from the dealer. So the moment you visit a shopkeeper, you will talk about what products you need, what are the specifications you are looking for, but you will not directly ask for after sales service. It is something which you will consider is already there as a part of the marketer's initiative to satisfy you. So, as you are not, the consumer will not state it directly, that is why it is regarded as an unstated need of the consumer. Moving next we have is delight need. Now what is delight need? I want the dealer to include some gifts with the card. So when you want to make the experience of a customer, more enjoyable, more memorable, you will have to add certain delight needs. Okay, or you will have to satisfy the delight needs of the customer. So the delight need generally is also referred to as a surprise need fulfillment. So when you come up with certain gifts or vouchers, okay, that will automatically add to the satisfaction level of the customer. Along with that, when you are trying to understand the requirement of the customer, we will also consider the presence of secret needs. Now, what is a secret need? Secret need is a hidden agenda or a hidden, feeling which will be not spoken about by the customer, but it will be present in your decision making. So, in our example, the secret need can be I want a car as a status symbol. Why so? Because the problem that was stated in this example was that the person wants a car to commute daily to his work or to his college. So that means what he needs a mode of transport of his own. So why he has chosen it to be only car? Definitely there will be other benefits attached to it. Maybe it is more safe, it is more convenient. Okay, in times of this there is so much pollution, so you are safe from the pollution also. But ultimately, along with that, he might hide his secret need. That is, he want to also have a status symbol. Owning a car will be regarded as a status symbol for that person. So, during a conversation with a customer, if you are a good salesperson, definitely you will also be able to understand the secret need of the customer. So, this is how we proceed in understanding the different phases or different levels of needs of a customer. Now, when we are talking of needs, understanding needs, it makes really, useful for us to talk about the Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. Now, according to Abraham Maslow, there are actually 5 stages of need identification for any human being from its birth. At the bottom, we have the psychological needs. Okay. Now, what are the physiological needs? Physiological needs are nothing but these are the needs which are directly related to the survival of a person. Okay. So physiological needs are for the survival of a person. Now, for survival, what we require? We definitely require air, food, water, shelter. Okay? So these are regarded as the basic necessities of survival and are termed under physiological needs of a customer. Next in line, we have the safety and security needs. What are the safety and security needs? Safety and security needs are nothing but the safety that we need for our survival. It may be a proper, well secured house. It may be a insurance policy. It can be your existence of hospitals near us. So existence of police force near us. So these are all adding to the safety and security needs of a person. Moving ahead, next is the need for love and belongingness. Now, the need for love and belongingness are actually, like you see, human is a social being. So, definitely, we want some, you can say, comfort from different counterparts, or we need some belongingness from the society. Okay, that means we need a social presence that is about our love and belonging needs fulfillment. Next, self-esteem. Now, self-esteem are directly related to the esteem needs. That is the status, that is for your personality. There will be certain needs attached. What type of products you like to use, or what are your daily habits. This will have an impact on our self-esteem needs. And finally, we have the self-actualization need. What is self-actualization? Self-actualization is where we get a inner motivation to give something back to the society pricelessly. That means without attaching any profit. When we try to give back something to the society, that will count under our self-actualization need. Why now it is important for us to understand Maslow's hierarchy of need? Because as a marketer, the first step is like we will have to understand the different needs of the customer. And the different needs of the customer are categorized into five classes or five divisions. Alright? And as you can see in the slide, for physiological needs, we have got different food companies. Like you can take example of Amul, Britannia, Ashirvad, Dabur. They are all fulfilling our physiological needs. Next in line, when we are talking about safety, we can take the mere example of different locks and lockers. Apart from them, to get some, security from the uncertainty of life, we have got the insurance policies. That means the insurance companies come into the scene. For societal needs, that means to connect, to feel belonging, okay, to have a certain affection. We have got the coverage of social networking sites. Coming to esteem needs are possession of your luxury brands, looking for some status gratification. These will all come under our esteem needs. Okay, and for realization of self-actualization needs, maybe a person, this comes at a later life part of our life. A person might get involved as a philanthropist under your non-profit organization. So this is in gist about the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and this gives a good idea about what needs we are talking about. Okay, from the perspective of a marketer. So as the concept of need is clear, we now move a step ahead. That means now we will discuss about the wants. Now, what are wants? Wants are a step ahead of needs. That means when you exactly know what you need, it gets converted into a want. That means what? Want is like it may not be like the same thing may not satisfy all types of person. That means if you are an Indian, when you are hungry, you will look for either roti or rice. But as an American, you will not look for roti and rice. You will look for, you can say, a hamburger, a sandwich, and the list continues. That means what? The need is the same. That means you both are hungry, but when it comes to wants, our needs will be different. Okay? And that specification, that need specification, what type of product you want, which product you want, which brand you want is actually what is a want. So when needs are directed to a specific object that satisfy needs, they become wants. A want is a product desired by a customer. This is like a want is something which will without which also a person can do. That means again taking this simple example, the need is like is a physiological need that you are hungry. So even rice and dal will satisfy your hunger. But the want is like one will propel you for going for you can say lunch with certain items like a chicken thali or other choices which you will like to have. So that means what? The one goes on changing and there are unlimited ones. Okay, today you want this, next day you will want another commodity, but the need will be the same. All right, and what we can say is like different people will have different needs. Okay, so human want can be varied depending on each individual's perception, environment, culture, and society. Our want, the need is the same for every human being based on Maslow's need hierarchy theory. But actually, how we want to fulfill that need will be different for person to person based on an individual's perception, environment, culture, and society. Next important concept is after need and want is our demand. Now, what is demand? Demand is directly related to your purchasing ability. So, when demand is created, when wants are backed by purchasing power. Now, the basic difference between want and demand is desire. Okay, so you might desire for different types of things. All right, that means you will might have set a long list of wants, but as per your purchasing power only, you will be able to fulfill that want of yours. All right, and marketers can influence demand by offering products at different price and different quantity. Now you see from this what we can understand is like purchasing power is a very important consideration for the marketing. You might create a product to satisfy by for the need, and you might give lot of option in terms of wants, but ultimately what matters is the purchasing power of the customer. Okay, so a demand analysis becomes a very important part of your marketing management studies. All right, and then again, as a marketer, you can also influence the way a person wants to exchange his monetary power. That means your purchase decisions, where you want to make the purchase, where you want to invest, that can also be influenced by the marketer, because there will be a list of wants. Now, based on your budgets, you will go to the market and satisfy your demand. So ultimately what we can say, understanding the customer is all about understanding needs, wants and demand, and accordingly we can develop a marketing strategy. Now, demand is the creation of a motive for the customer to buy the product. And satisfaction of demand is like after demand creation, what we need to do. How do we satisfy the demand? The demand can be satisfied by when a sales actually takes place. All right? And when a sales is taking place and you are actually catering to the demand of a person, we can say that we are in a position to create loyal customers, and this will lead toward overall fulfillment of the objectives of the company. So, this is all about today's discussion, where we have tried to understand the core meaning of the term marketing management and certain important concepts relating to understanding marketing management, namely needs, wants, and demand. So, that's all for today. Hope to see you in another session.